Chapter 1758 3 months. This is the Tai King mountain range where Colored Glass sect is located. Su Yan asked, looking at the rolling hills below, like a hidden dragon. Yang Kai nodded, standing next to her. Divine consciousness let go, with the help of Star Master, sweeping within a few 10,000 li, said with a slight smile. It seems that during the corpse spirit religion raids, Colored Glass sect headquarters not at all suffered too much damage, similar to when I came here last time. Chia Ning Chang looked into the distance. Said in a soft voice, the world's spiritual energy of Gloom Star is really not comparable to Tongxuan continent. Any place we go in these days, whether spiritual energy or scenery, is much more than Tongxuan continent. She looked a little lost. Yang Kai is the Gloom Star Star Master. She is the Star Master of Tongxuan continent. For every Star Master, the cultivation star of the refining star source is like the owner's closest partner, just like own child. Tongxuan continent's depression and lack of spiritual energy made Chia Ning Chang a little sad. The Star Master is closely related to cultivation star. Little senior sister, you work hard to improve your own cultivation level. One day, Tongxuan continent will have vitality again, Yang Kai said with relief. Chia Ning Chang is nodded cleverly. Let's go, Gong sect master should have received the news. Yang Kai held the two women's hands on the left and the right, leading them to fly forward. Since that day, I started traveling around Gloom Star, and it has been almost 3 months. In the past 3 months, the three of Yang Kai visited almost the entire famous scenic spot of Gloom Star and saw all kinds of customs, surging forward with great momentum on sorrowless ocean, and the endless expanse of silent desert, the majestic and steep of the big river of many famous mountains, left the footprints and silhouettes of 3 people. These 3-month journey will surely become the most beautiful memory in the hearts of the 3. Colored Glass Zong is the last stop set by Yang Kai. I didn't come here to see the scenery, but Yang Kai wanted to ask Gong Aofu for something. Although Gong Aofu led Colored Glass sect to join High Heaven sect during the raid of Corpse Spirit religion, she herself became one of the elders of High Heaven sect, but the hidden danger of Corpse Spirit religion after going there, Yang Kai asked Gong Aofu to return to Tai King Mountain. He knows the meaning of master sect to martial artist better than anyone. Just like the sect he built in Gloom Star called High Heaven sect, even if Gong Aofu stays in High Heaven sect, there will be better room for development, but she will always remember Colored Glass sect in her heart. She raised her sect this time. Even more how, when Gong Aofu joined High Heaven sect, Yang Kai also said that she would allow her to rebuild Colored Glass sect in the future. Release her back, but to fulfill the original promise, that's all. Gong Aofu is really grateful. Although he led the martial artists of Colored Glass sect back to Tai King Mountain, he also made a resolute oath. From then on, Colored Glass sect belongs to High Heaven sect and is in charge of High Heaven sect. The subsidiary sect. This is regarded as the first subsidiary sect of High Heaven sect. And it is a very important subsidiary sect. When Yang Kai came here with Su Yan and Chia Ning Chang, he had already sent the message to Gong Aofu. When they flew to the Colored Glass sect main peak, a group of people were densely packed below. The headed beautiful woman, full of style and plump, is naturally Gong Aofu. Dai Yuan still has a pocky face, pitted on his face, and looks extremely ugly. Just standing next to Gong Aofu is more and more beautiful. In the 2 people behind, Colored Glass sect is the only remaining elder and elite disciples, and Yin Sudi is also on the list. Seeing Yang Kai's retreat, the group of people below immediately looked solemn and saluted. Subordinate Gong Aofu, pay respects to sect master, and met Mrs. Tu sect master. Gong Aofu said quickly. None are outsiders, Gong sect master, don't be so polite. Yang Kai waved his hand, and Su Yan slightly smiled at Gong Aofu, and calmly accepted her name for own, but Chia Ning Chang. Even with a veil, you can still see the crimson of her face, and the delicate earlobes are like weeping blood. For so many years, little senior sister is still shy. Dai Yuan girl, it's been a long time. Yang Kai turned his head to look at Dai Yuan again, his gaze traversed her face deeply. Others didn't know the disgusting face was hidden underneath. What kind of appearance, Yang Kai is clear. Dai Yuan's figure is indeed exquisite and curvaceous, but the honor is very disgusting, and it is extremely difficult for people to feel good about her. Yang Kai and Dai Yuan are simply one is heaven and other is earth. In the divine dragon soaring in the sky, did you ever look at the creeping ants on the ground? So almost all people don't know why Yang Kai takes care of Dai Yuan in this way. In the face of Yang Kai's greetings, Dai Yuan is only gently nodded, not at all showing too much enthusiasm. Gong Aofu pursed his lips from the sidelines. The subordinates heard from Great Elder that Sect Master has been wandering Gloomstar for the past few months. What are the gains? Just looking at the scenery, how can you gain anything? Yang Kai he smiled, shook the head. Sect Master and Mrs. Tu have a talented appearance. It seems that they are the biggest gain. Yang Kai turned his head to Su Yan and Chia Ning Chang. I looked at it and smiled knowingly. Even though they knew that Gong Aofu had something to do with horses, none of the three felt disgusted. But I don't know what Sect Master came to Colored Glass Sect today. Why, it's just looking at the scenery to relax. If so, the subordinates will do their best to make arrangements. The scenery of Tai King Mountain is also good. Quote. It's not. Yang Kai shook the head. I came here this time. There is a presumptuous request. Sect Master, but it doesn't matter. Gong Aofu smiled. If Sect Master didn't take care of me, my Colored Glass Sect would have ceased to exist. What does Sect Master have for my Colored Glass Sect? It is the honor of my Colored Glass Sect. Why should I say a presumptuous request? P greater than. Seeing her so refreshing, Yang Kai nodded. Then I will say clearly, I came here to want some 1,000 imaginary colored glass. Your 1,000 imaginary colored glass mountain is not destroyed by corpse spirit religion, right? 1,000 imaginary colored glass. Gong Aofu raised his eyebrows. 1,000 imaginary colored glass mountain is a wonderful item of heaven and earth. The people of corpse spirit religion can't destroy it, but if Sect Master wants it, 1,000 imaginary colored glass is somewhat difficult to handle. I have accumulated Colored Glass Sect for so many years, and it only has a weight of 3 or 2. I don't know if it is enough for Sect Master. Exclamation mark quote. Yang Kai dumbly laughed. Then, let Dai Yuan use the secret technique to mine some. Gong Aofu asked inquiringly. For the entire Colored Glass Sect, only Dai Yuan, who has practiced the special secret technique, can refining 1,000 imaginary colored glass and can mine out some of this peculiar things. So even though Colored Glass Sect sits on 1,000 imaginary colored glass mountain, this kind of rare treasure, it has not been able to use it. I have to say that this is indeed sad. There are not many disciplines that can be mined, but I think Yang Kai owns a way. Dai Yuan beautiful eyes looked at Yang Kai with fullness. Impudent. Gong Aofu screamed, and a pair of beautiful eyes looked at Dai Yuan majestically. Why do you dare to call Sect Master directly? Blame, but all the attention was focused on Yang Kai, and I found that Yang Kai not at all meant to be angry, which made me feel relieved. It's okay, I've known Miss Dai Yuan for a long time, and there is nothing at worst when I call my name. Yang Kai he smiled. Dai Yuan bit yin ya and glared at Yang Kai angrily. Before the corpse spirit religion ravaged Gloomstar, she and Yang Kai were already friends, and they have always called him that way, but now, this guy jumped up and became the command owner honored master. People. Dai Yuan feels extremely awkward. Sect Master has a large number. It is because the subordinates neglected to teach Dai Yuan. Gong Aofu bowed and turned off the topic. Sect Master owns a way to mine 1,000 imaginary colored glass. Yang Kai nodded. If this kind of words, it will be convenient, as much as Sect Master wants, although own mining is, anyway, we don't know how to use 1,000 imaginary colored glass mountain. Sect Master, please come with me. Gong Aofu said, and immediately led the way. Yang Kai and Su Yan Chia Ning Chang hurried to keep up. Colored Glass Sect and the martial artists are also very curious about what method Yang Kai will use to mine 1,000 imaginary colored glass. Naturally, they are all embellished. They want to see what happens. You fool. Yin Sudi looked at the crowd going away and got close to Dai Yuan. He looked like a hate iron for not becoming steel and said, when Sect Master takes the initiative to greet you, why are you looking cold? Then what should I do? Post it? Dai Yuan gave her a glance. Yin Sudi was choked for a while and was speechless. After thinking about it, suddenly tenderly giggles. If it is me, I will post it. He is the strongest person in Gloomstar. Shame. But do you think you can compare to the 2 females beside him? Dai Yuan looked at Yin Sudi contemptuously. Yin Sudi startled, recalling the appearance of Su Yan and Chia Ning Chang, 2 people, and he couldn't help feeling like a dwarf. Su Yan, needless to say, she is dressed in cold aura, and her invisible aura is extremely powerful, which makes her feel pressured. With Su Yan in, she doesn't even have the courage to talk to Yang Kai. Even the extremely delicate, veiled female has a holy and inviolable temperament, which is a temperament that is enough to make people feel ashamed. What's the difference? As long as sect master is happy, I also have a chance. Yin Sudi cold snort. I don't bother to tell you. Dai Yuan gave her a blank look, then she shook her body, and chased everyone away. Idiot senior sister, ugly woman. Yin Sudi cursed behind him, bearing fangs and brandishing claws. Dai Yuan didn't hear it. 1,000 imaginary colored glass mountain, the whole is a hill composed of 1,000 imaginary colored glass. It is extremely heavy and looks unpretentious, but in fact, 1,000 imaginary colored glass, this thing can be born with colored glass. Divine light. Colored glass divine light has the mysterious effect of restraining 5 elements and restraining the soul. Dai Yuan used to give Yang Kai a colored glass bead. After she swallowed 1,000 imaginary colored glass, she formed a bead similar to monster beast core within the body, which has been refining by Yang Kai. Integration with life's exterminator demon eye greatly enhances the power of life's exterminator demon eye. Apart from this, 1,000 imaginary colored glass and the weirdness of myriad transformations. It is rumored that if you use 1,000 imaginary colored glass to refine secret treasure, you can change the secret treasure when you face the enemy, and you can't guard against it.